What if I told you there's a way to rank #1 on AI search engines without having to learn a completely new SEO strategy? Well, there is. Because I've helped dozens of clients rank #1 on ChatGPT without changing a single thing. But a lot of people are acting like it's a completely different game. However, that's the exact reason they're falling behind. Because while they chase shiny new strategies, the ones dominating these platforms are doing the complete opposite. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same. See, people are acting like to rank on AI search engines, you need to completely change the way you do SEO. But here's how ranking on AI platforms actually works. First, you publish your content to the web. So this is like a blog on your site or a page on your site. Then search engines like Google and Bing crawl the web and add that content to their indexes. Now, AI platforms like ChatGPT don't crawl the web themselves because they're not in the search engine game. Instead, they just pull from these existing indexes. ChatGPT pulls from Bing's index, Gemini pulls from Google's index, and Perplexity, for example, has a small index of their own, and they also pull from Google and Bing's indexes. So they're all just summarizing the same exact content that's already in traditional search, which means when you rank on Google or Bing, you're automatically showing up in AI search results too. So the thing is, you don't need a separate AI search strategy. You just need to nail that SEO fundamentals, and then you'll be ranking in these search engines in no time. Now, the first step is targeting the right keywords, because the keywords you target determine which searches you rank for. So if you pick the wrong ones, you'll struggle to rank #1 or rank for things that have nothing to do with your brand. However, the problem is most people only focus on keywords that only bring in traffic. Though you need a balance of keywords that are going to help you rank higher, but also bring in qualified buyers. But the hard part is finding out which ones those actually are. So here's one of the best strategies to find them. So let's say you are an AI agent company and you train chatbots on website and files for enterprise search companies, just like this company Denser here. What you're going to do is analyze your site because you've probably already created a lot of marketing messaging around your product features. You can go to like a platform drop down or a feature drop down or whatever feature page you might have around your product. In this case, we have like, let's see, chat with PDF, right? So we can click on chat with PDF and you can see there's a couple of keywords here. One of the easiest strategies to find keywords around chatting with PDFs, because if people search up for how to chat with a PDF and they want to find a chatbot solution and you offer that solution, obviously you'll want to rank for those keywords. So in this case, you can just copy this headline, chat with any PDF, right? Put it in Google, chat with any PDF, and you can see a ton of search results come up. If you're looking for regular service page content, this is a really good way to do it. If you're looking for like blog content to rank for, you can say best tools or add some sort of keyword modifier that will create a listicle buying intent, for example. So in this case, best tools to chat with any PDF. So it looks like top 7 tools to chat with PDFs is a good one. We also have a couple of service pages that popped up as well. So we'll just choose a service page. So in this case, we'll choose EaseMate AI service page and it just /PDF right there, or chat PDF. You're gonna go ahead and throw it into the Site Explorer in Ahrefs, the exact URL. And what you can see here is this is a path search. So this is not looking at EaseMate's total site, which would be 4 million monthly traffic. What you're looking at is the specific page and how many keywords it's ranking for, how much traffic it's getting on average. So for example, if we open up the organic keywords, you can see that the keywords it's ranking for, if we go to the United States, is going to be chat PDF, PDF chat, chat with PDF, PDF summarizer free, a ton of different keywords, and boom, now you have 112 qualified keywords, and most of them being commercial intent in this case, looking for chatting with a PDF or AI solutions around that. And then you can go ahead and select some. You can select a whole batch of them and make a pillar page and cluster pages, and then target those keywords with your own content on your own site. So when it actually comes to choosing these keywords, what we can see here is that obviously since it's ranked for 100 different keywords, we only want to choose a few. So in this case, we would select chat PDF AI, probably chat PDF, and chat with PDF. The reason for this is these all have relatively low keyword difficulties and they all have pretty good search volume right here, this being the most of 14,000 search volume. And then if you wanted to get a longer tail keyword, for example, you can look for a longer phrase keyword like this one right here, AI that reads PDF and summarizes. I think there's a reason it ranks number 10 because the buying intent is a little bit more in-depth than just the service page. And this one has a little bit of a higher cost per click, so $1.41, 100 search volume, it's a 20 keyword difficulty. So that would be a great keyword for a blog. We would create a blog around the best AI that reads PDF and summarizes, and And then we could even add something like expanded features to kind of target that buying intent a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do one more example of this. This is a company that does contract lifecycle management. In their main title here, they don't have anything around specifically contract lifecycle management. So in this case, once again, you'd go to a product dropdown or a solutions dropdown, or if you only have like one page on the site, you would go to that one product page. In this case, there is an AI contract lifecycle management keyword. And essentially you would want to copy the main keyword. So AI powered contract lifecycle management. So for example, you can copy like draft, redline, and query. You can copy organize contracts automatically. Essentially anything that speaks about a function that your software does. So in this case, we're going to copy AI powered contract lifecycle management. And then we're going to add software as a keyword modifier to find softwares that do this. So if we scroll down a little bit, what we can see is that there's a ton of service pages again. In this case, there's one by ContractSafe, which is a list of the 5 best AI contract review software. We're going to go ahead and click on this, copy the URL, and throw it into the Site Explorer in Ahrefs, once again under the path search. Then once it pulls up, you're going to see that there's around 49 keywords, getting around 300 plus traffic, and you'll have a ton of keywords to select from when it comes to trying to create your own content. So one easy way to find the best keywords or most qualified keywords is sorting by cost per click right here. And you can see that there's some keywords with a $39 cost per click, 26, 24. So all of these are going to be extremely qualified. In this case, I would either choose best contract analysis software, contract management AI or artificial intelligence, and then probably down here, contract management software review. These all have easier keyword difficulties and still really high cost per clicks, as well as having a commercial intent. And then I can take these and I can create 3 separate articles from them. And that's the easiest way to find really high quality keywords around any topic you want to rank for. Now, this process works, but it's time consuming. You have to spend hours trying to find good keywords and testing which ones help you rank. And after all that work, it can still take months to even see results. So if you want us to shortcut the process, you can book a call below. We've helped dozens of clients rank #1 on Google, and we'll see if we could do the same for you. But either way, finding the right keywords is just the start, because the right ones can help you rank #1, but the pages you send people to will be filled with context for these search engines to analyze. And if they're not helping you rank higher, it's basically a waste of time. But the problem is, most people make one of 2 mistakes. They'll either write 3,000 words before getting to the point, or they'll stuff keywords and not actually be helpful. However, search engines reward content that is well organized and gets straight to the answer. And there's a specific structure that we use to make sure our content checks all the boxes. So one process we follow is called informing and then persuading in our content. So we want to inform and then agitate and then show them the golden call to action. So here is an example in our content of doing the inform, agitate, and then persuade method. In this case, we have an example of AI in accounting, and the article was written for an AI accounting software. So what we do is start off with an introduction. What is AI in accounting? We're just informing. We're talking about types of technology in accounting AI, different informative methods to get Google to trust us and trust our content. And also we get quoted a lot in AI citations from this. And then we move down to a section that kind of agitates. So will AI replace accountants, right? It's a fair question. We talk about it a little bit, and then we hit them with a call to action here: build smarter AI powered workflows with Campfire, the company. We talk about it a little bit, give some features, and then we say get started today. And then we also go through some examples of AI accounting use cases just for a little bit more information and to get more AI citations. So what we see here is information in the first section, and then we see a little bit of agitation, introducing more AI kind of taking over, and then we hit them with a golden solution, golden call to action. The next thing you want to make sure you do in your content, besides inform and agitate, is to have scannable structure. So there's a couple things to look out for. One example is short paragraphs. You really don't want more than 2 to 3 sentences in paragraphs. So what you can see here is that there's somewhere between like 4 to 10 paragraphs per header section. So you really want to break up these paragraphs. The next thing is to have H1s, H2s, and H3s. So you want to make sure your title is an H1 tag. And then as you can see, these are all H2 tags until we get down to a section that has an H2, and then within it, it has H3 tags, as you can see right there. So you want to make sure you have a scannable header hierarchy. And then here is a great example to make something skimmable and scannable. So you want to make sure that headers are bolded. You want to make sure that key bullet points are bolded. You want to make sure that hyperlinks are standing out. You can have it be blue, a lighter blue, or you can have it be your brand colors if it's some sort of orange, something that's readable. And the third thing you want to make sure you have in your content is actual internal links and external links. So as I was just saying, we have an internal link right here. For example, we're targeting this page about core accounting because we want to rank for the keyword core accounting. Therefore, we're going to have an anchor text core accounting here, an actual link to the page as well. And then examples of external links would be like a recent survey right here, or quoting something in the anchor text being the actual quote itself. And lastly, you could also use product screenshots or screenshots of homepages like this. Just make sure if you ever use another site's homepage screenshot, you actually want to source it under the image. But this is a great way to add a really nice branded UI, especially if you use product screenshots like mentioned. But even with the right keywords and content structure, you'll still struggle to rank #1, because the next thing that these search engines look for is how many sites, if any at all, are linking back to your site. This way they know if you're trustworthy or not. Those sites are called backlinks, and they decide if you're going to rank #1 or be stuck buried on page 2. Think of it like votes of confidence. So when a credible site links back to your site, it tells Google that you're credible as well, and it pushes you up in search rankings. But the reality is you're not just going to stumble across backlinks. You need to know how to actually find them. So here are 2 processes that we use. The first process is blogger outreach, and one of the easiest ways to do blogger outreach is to go to Google and just search up "right for us" and then type in your industry. So let's say fashion, right? You can do plus fashion like that. And what you can see is that a bunch of sites are going to pop up looking for you to write a guest post for them. So we can look at the Fashion Studies Journal, for example. They are going to give you a bunch of details on what to write about for their site. So you can go ahead and read through this and figure out what your best chance at getting an accepted pitch is. And for example, most of these sites have forms that you can just fill out and kind of upload your pitch. So in this case, FSJ is looking for pitches no more than 100 words using the form below. And they published some recently published articles down below here. So what you should do is go ahead and take a look at what these are writing about. This looks pretty short, it looks pretty generic. So I would read through all of these and then figure out what topics they would like to embody or support. So it looks like they want to talk about production, meditation, and some other things around fashion. So then what you do is go ahead and fill in your information, put together the pitch here between 50 to 100 words, and then fill out the rest of this, and then you go ahead and submit it. And then if you do that across the board for all of these different sites, you're ending up with a good chunk of backlinks in your industry. So the next opportunity, if you have an existing site that has some history of natural backlinks, of general ads in the past, maybe you put out some content, you just have some sort of site that has a history and it's not some invisible site online, there's an extremely high chance you've gotten some emails like this. So if you go ahead and search up in your email guest post opportunities, you just put OPP, you're going to see a bunch of these highlighted emails pop up. Maybe you have one, maybe you've received 100 of them. You can go ahead and click on any of them, and what you're going to do is go ahead and review these sites. So for example, this guest post opportunity, this random freelancer is sending me sites that we can pay for backlinks to be on. So for example, we have finance.yahoo.com, OpenPR, Digital Journal, exlazy.com. So what you want to do is pull up these sites in Ahrefs. So this is an example of a site that can't even be reached. So that's a bad site to start with. You can look at like OpenPR, for example. So it looks like just a regular blog site. If you go ahead and throw it into Ahrefs, what you can see is that it gets around 100,000 plus traffic, has a really good traffic value, ranked for a ton of different keywords, and an 80 domain rating. And then if you open up the keywords it's ranked for genuine traffic. And this looks to be about like stocks and crypto and some other finance type terms. So this would be great for any tech site, any finance site, any crypto site, or business rather. So what I would do in this case is go ahead and reply back and say, "Hi, name, how much do you charge per guest post backlink, and what are your requirements?" So typically they'll email back and say, "Hey, there's no requirements," and it's like $120 per post or whatever it might be. Or maybe there will be requirements that are kind of unfair to you and you feel like you're not getting a fair trade. But regardless, you basically want to start the conversation with these people and you want to determine if they have fair value prices, and then also what other sites they might have. So let's say, 1 or 2 of these sites were pretty good, but the rest of them were spammy backlinks, or they were getting inappropriate traffic or irrelevant traffic, you would let them know, hey, name, what other site options do you have besides these? Let them get back to you, and then you can go ahead and analyze those in Ahrefs as well. And then you essentially wait till they send you details on their submission process. You write your guest post article, link it back to your site, and then you can submit it to them and they'll publish it for you. Now, that's exactly how to rank number one by nailing the fundamentals of SEO, but there are a lot of little steps that I didn't cover, like optimizing your website or just tracking results in general. So if you want me and my team to handle all of that, you can book a call below. We've helped dozens of businesses rank number one on both AI search engines and Google, and we'll see if we can help you do the same.